So today I find myself at the Peace Church Cemetery in, well, kind of outside Joplin, Missouri. It's one of the oldest cemeteries here, and it contains the founders of Joplin and the surrounding area. And it's really, really peaceful here. Peaceful to a point because there is a pretty busy road right here. Like literally graves are butted right up against the roadway, and there's no fence or border there. Which anytime I see that in a cemetery, I always wonder, because people have been flying down this road pretty fast, if there was any, at some point, a car kind of going off the road and into the cemetery, because that would destroy many headstones here, because they're all really, really old and fragile. So any sort of connection with an automobile going out of control would be devastating. Multiple locations where the only thing marking a grave is a tiny little stone that says grave, which means that yes, there's someone buried there. That is a plot that is in use, but they don't have a stone, and possibly they don't even have records to who was actually buried there, so they mark the location with that simple stone. So this location is pretty well taken care of. It's just a slightly bit overgrown. You can see that the grass has been cut recently, probably within the last few weeks or so. But I believe the reason that it looks as good as it does for as old as it is each section, as you can see here, says this area adopted by, and there's lots of these signs all over the cemetery with people's names under them. So it says this area adopted by a certain person's name. So that person is either paying for or coming down and taking care of this area that they have adopted, which is a great way for one, the community to be a part of keeping this place nice and giving it the care that it deserves, especially because of its age. But also it helps keep places like this from overgrowing, stones falling down all the time, because I see a lot of stones here either repaired or propped up as best as possible. So that is really nice to see, because as you've seen in many other episodes, we've gone to cemeteries where stones are missing or broken on the ground in terrible condition, everything's overgrown. That's because there's no one there to care for them. So I like the idea that the community has come together to care for this place. So before I leave Peace Church Cemetery, I do want to bring up a bit of history about this cemetery that is important, because for a very specific reason. Now, in this cemetery lies the remains of a man named Billy Cook. Billy Cook murdered 6 people in 1950 across many states. He went on a killing spree. He killed adults, children, law enforcement before he was finally caught. He was sentenced to death. He died in the gas chamber of San Quentin, and his body was brought back to here in Joplin, Missouri, where it was laid in Peace Church Cemetery. Now, according to records, his grave is unmarked, so he doesn't have a memorial that says, hey, look at me, I'm Billy Cook. He has also been buried apparently outside of the borders of the cemetery, so we really cannot tell where that person is. That goes along with the fact that many a ghost hunter has come here because there are reports that this cemetery is haunted. There are reports of seeing a shadow figure along the borders of the cemetery. And as a ghost hunter myself, I understand the temptation to come to a place like this and try and investigate and try and capture proof. But it's very different to ghost hunt at a business, at a person's home, when you've been invited at a abandoned location. It is very much something else to come to a place where it is the final resting place for so many other people. I say all of this because we need to remain respectful. I've talked about this on previous episodes, that we need to be mindful of the location, of the people here, of their loved ones, and be as respectful as possible. There are signs posted here that say that they don't want anybody in here after dark. There are definite hours to Peace Church Cemetery, and of course, ghost hunters, we like to tromp around at night. So just by coming here, you're breaking the rules and you're being disrespectful. So just be aware of that. But I'm going to take my leave here of Peace Church Cemetery. I really enjoyed my stop here. It's very nice and calm and cool. But remember, as always, remain respectful, be safe, and I will see you on the next one.